You know, Indian's one of my favorite motorcycle companies, and they're working on some crazy technology to keep riders both better heated and cooled. And today I'm going to tell you about that and give you my opinion on this stuff. And of course, I want to hear from y'all because I'm sure y'all have strong opinions too. Is this something that you would actually invest in, or is it something you would stay away from? I'll tell you kind of the pros and cons of heated and cooled gear right now, and then, of course, tell you what this new technology is that they're working on. Let me know what you think down below, and if you like what I do, consider subscribing. Let's go and get into it. Now, first I'll talk about cooled gear. And so I've tried everything from the backpack where you freeze the bag. It has a pump that takes water and circulates around the jacket that you're wearing, and it connects with a couple of hoses. And it kind of works like a radiator. And so it did a good job up until the temp outside became up over 80 degrees, and then it just essentially became worthless. You know, it's probably better for like a hiking vest or something like that as opposed to using it on a motorcycle. This past summer, I tried one that actually, has a lot of ventilation through it. So when you sweat, that air rushing over and through the jacket can actually help cool your skin. It works sometimes. Other times it just felt like I was wearing a jacket in the middle of summer and I just could not take it. I've even seen things like air conditioned helmets at times. I have no idea how that stuff works or if it works at all, but at the same time, I feel like it's a lot harder to get cool on a motorcycle. Heating, on the other hand, is actually pretty good and it's improved a lot over time. Now, of course, there's some challenges with that. If you have like heated gloves, I went through this, I don't know, 3 or 4 years ago where I was trying to get good battery power heated gloves, and they were super bulky. You had the battery packs on the top, and so I just didn't like those. But I think wired heated gear is probably the best way to go, at least in my opinion, and the stuff that I've found so far. Now, of course, wires getting in the way, you got to plug this stuff in. It could be a little bit of a challenge, but I think it works the best. And of course, you have heated hand grips and heated seats. Now, there's actually some clothing from Gerbing that uses 7-volt batteries that I want to try. They say they last up to 8 hours, and it kind of provides the best of both worlds, like, heated hoodies and heated riding jackets. They have 12-volt stuff as well, but I think I want to give their 7-volt stuff a try and just see how it works on a motorcycle. And of course, if I do, I'll report back to y'all and tell you what I think about it. And so you can see the kind of give and take with heated gear and cooled gear for that matter. It just is always kind of, hey, if you want this, you're going to have to give up a little bit of comfort, or you're going to have to deal with extra wires and stuff. Just the way it is. So what Indian's working on is actually using induction coils and wireless technology to transfer heat from the motorcycle to specialized heated gear that you're currently wearing. So think about it like this. You have different access points on the bike. You have your hand grips, you have your backrests, you have your seats, you even have your floorboards. By using induction coils, it creates an electromagnetic field, I guess, that will then have different access points on this specialized heated gear. And that will wirelessly transfer the heat and technology that's built into the bike directly to your skin almost with the gear that you're already wearing. So essentially, it's wireless heated technology. When I read this article, somebody had, mentioned a pretty fair point, I think. If you wear a pacemaker or affecting your cell phone or maybe even, credit cards and stuff like that, I thought that was a pretty fair point. I don't know enough about it to really have an opinion on that, but all I could say is, wireless stuff, there has to be some kind of drawback to it. Now, again, I can't speak to as of how safe it is. I just know I would be pretty reluctant, to just jump in and buy something like this. I don't know. Maybe it's just being straight up paranoid, but it just seems like there's a whole lot going on, and not to mention the fact that, that's going to be probably a significant increase in the price of the motorcycle with that kind of technology. Now, from what I've seen, Indian's already gotten the patent on this stuff, so this is something I assume they're going to start working on and putting in their motorcycles. I really don't know how soon they're going to do this, but at the same time, it will definitely increase the price of the motorcycles. Now, I would assume that they'll throw this into their premium bikes first, maybe like the Challenger Elites, maybe, your high-end Pursuits, bikes like that first, and then maybe trickle down. I don't know how I feel about being a freaking Wi-Fi access point on two wheels. It just seems a little sketch. I think I'd almost rather just buy a set of chaps and double up on my jackets, heavy duty gloves, and kind of call it a day. But not only that, you're talking about specialized motorcycle gear too, and this stuff isn't exactly cheap as it is. So then you add the specialized version. Maybe it only works with Indians, so it's going to be even more expensive. I just don't know if I see maybe entirely the benefit, or maybe just because I don't understand it fully, that it sketches me out a little more than it probably should. Now, one cool thing I think they're working on is actually wireless charging for the motorcycle. So essentially they have a sensor on the kickstand. You plug in this wireless charging pad into your garage, and whenever you set the bike down, it automatically keeps your battery charged up and ready to go. Now that's pretty cool. You ain't got to plug in a tender or anything like that, even though India makes this probably as easy as any other manufacturer out there, because a lot of their tenders are just right there in the inside of the fairing and ready to go. But hey, this is a little bit more convenient. That's something I could get behind. But again, being a wireless access point on two wheels, I just don't know if that's for me. That's just my opinion though. I'd love to hear yours down below. Big thanks to you guys for watching. If you want to support what I do, you can join us on Patreon, or you could join the channel right here. Never have to leave YouTube and get some pretty cool perks. See you all in the next one, and as always, hold 'em down.